Welcome back to the National Collegiate Box Series. We're here at Frank Ritter Ice Arena at the campus of the Rochester Institute of Technology. Chamberlain Bauder and Dave Buchanan here with you for this gold medal matchup between the Buffaloes out of Buffalo and then the Dramingos out of a combined San Francisco and Florida basis. They've got the backup goalie of the Colorado Mammoth, Nate Whittam, the 19-year-old, in between the sticks for them, easily the goalie of the tournament so far. But on the other end, the little brother of Buffalo Bandits draft pick, Zach Constantopoulos, little brother of Evan Constantopoulos, played Senior B this summer. And now he's trying to make his case as these two goalies will do battle here today. A rematch of the first game of this entire tournament on Wednesday will be bookended at the NCBS tournament by Dramingos and Buffaloes. It was a 12-10 win for the Buffaloes in that opening game to the tournament, but the Dramingos had the lead in the fourth quarter. Some clarifications with the benches. Brad MacArthur, the head coach for the Dramingos. And it'll be O'Brien Tallchief in at the faceoff dot. No Silas Jonathan again for the Buffaloes. He wasn't here yesterday either. And on the first draw, Gavin Wessel initially comes away with it. Battle for the ground ball now. It's loose, scooped up by Kyle Goncioric. Quick chance for the Buffaloes now, running the fake ball, hidden ball trick. It's still with Dalen John Hill. John Hill down the near side wing for the lefties, getting some help from Kelvin Jonathan in the two-man game. Can't get that pass on the mark. Battle for the ground ball is won by the Dramingos. It was Pasquale putting on the last check to give the Dramingos the ball opportunity, and now Ryan Sanders loses that one. It's over and back. Xavier Peters will be able to get this thing started. Peters inside for Kogan, twister, saved by Whittam.
Nice play by the two of the youngest players on this Buffaloes roster, Peters and Kogan, as Peters pushing Sanders over the center line and then going in on the transition opportunity, just coming up short.
An opportunity now for Benjamin Pusick. That shot far, trying to find that far post. Pusick in this tournament, third in goals with 11, and trying to find their way through the Dramingos, find the back of the net first. On the lefty side with this one, a tally, I believe, Luke Fox getting the finish on that. Fox with the score, working it down low to the back door, and Constantopoulos can't get to it.
Actually, I take that back. It might be Kyle Ryan that got the goal.
14, Cale Ryan coming away with the tally. A lot of teen numbers for this Dramingos squad, except Trace McDonald and Luke Fox, 6 and 4 respectively of their attackers. A face-off win by O'Brien Tallchief. Now on the outside, it's Gabe Edwards. Edwards over the top. That shot bounces right home. Top corner picked by Matt Jones. And the Buffaloes respond immediately off a face-off win and a beautiful bouncer from the outside. If you're going to have to get past an NLL talent in cage, you got to change levels with the shot. And that's exactly what Matt Jones does there, making it change levels twice off the turf.
7th goal of the tournament for Matt Jones as the one-hopper finds net, and quickly Buffaloes get the ball back here.
Connor Murphy thought about a pass to Xavier Peters, didn't take it. Now a chance for the offense. Noah Snyder gets Matt Jones last out the door. Now fed across to Dalen John Hill. Skip pass to Snyder. That one's off the pipe and out. Right up and into the face of a fan in the stands. That ball had a lot of heat on it, but because it's off the post, it'll stay with the Buffaloes. Snyder again. Great pick from Kogan, but it's a 5-hole shut by Whittam. Perfect pick and roll set there by Kogan to get free for space. And in on the door, Keelan Seneca trying to get set up with a play, being muscled down to the ground by the Buffaloes, though. And it's stolen right back by the team in the red, white, and blue. Aaron Eberhardt crosses the midfield stripe with that ball. And now gets it to Gabe Edwards.
Hot pass from Snyder does not land on the stick of Kogan. Transition opportunity the other way, but Dramingos run into 4 on the Buffalo side.
Strong work from Edwards and Snyder to get back in the defense, and Kogan. They sent 3 immediately right back to the defensive end. And now a chance, though, for the Dramingos with 3 forwards out there playing defense right now. Feed inside, Seneca can't finish that one 5-hole. Constantopoulos got on top of it. Heave downfield, Kelvin Jonathan. Skips it across to Noah Snyder. Snyder feeds it back door. John Hill can't put it in the back of the net. Ball bounces back to Snyder, though. Heaves in front. That shot by Vol, no good. He had the first goal of the semifinal yesterday.
Some slick ball movement by the Buffaloes. Not able to bury it, but love that quick stick opportunity. Set up by Snyder.
They love creating at the back door off of north to south skip passes. Shot by Sanders is gloved down by Constantopoulos, and now a chance on the run for Owen McKay. Takes it right down to the crease, leg saved by Whittam.
Oh, McKay looking like his brother Ian out there in transition, unable to bury it, but Owen had 20 loose balls coming into today's game.
Not able to capitalize near side on that one. Now Benjamin Pusick getting a pick from Sanders, shot right into the chest of Constantopoulos. Outlet gets across the midfield stripe all the way to Dalen John Hill.
John Hill, part of this stout Buffaloes offense, along with Edwards and Kogan and John Hill. Unable to convert, though, here. Turnover.
Big check by Chase Kogan in the middle of the field. Dislodges that ball from Maxwell Crum. Big ride from the Buffaloes to get a chance to take the lead now. Kogan goes to Snyder. Snyder getting a pick from Kogan. He's got space, goes to the back door. Vol over to Dalen John Hill. He didn't have a good shot on that one, off target. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Edwards tried to catch it on the crease, couldn't get it, and that'll be a shot clock violation against the Buffaloes. Brought up across the midfield stripe for the Dramingos. And on the lefty side right now, it's Trace McDonald. Works all the way over to Sanders with that pass, but it's off target. And a ground ball battle. McDonald comes up with it, gets it inside, a chance now for Kovaleski. That one's off target. Bounces all the way up and out of play. And with 8 minutes to go in this first quarter, the Buffaloes, again, after a shot clock violation in their last offensive possession, will try to find a game-leading goal. Spin, Edwards to the crease. Goes far post, can't get through on Whittam. Rebound to Matt Jones. They get the reset. The shot from Kelvin Jonathan right into the wickets of Whittam. Ball loose, coughed up. Owen McKay gets on top of it. Now a chance for Aubrey Tallchief to heave it into Dalen John Hill. Snyder has space, rips it. That's into the shoulder of Whittam. Ground ball scooped up by Crum. His pass blocked by Chase Kogan. He didn't even realize that he blocked it. No 8-second violation. However, Kelvin Jonathan there to intercept the pass over the midfield stripe. Dalen John Hill over the middle. Can't connect with Jonathan. He's fighting for the ground ball now. A battle between 21s, and Jonathan comes up with it. Gets it behind to Jones, and now for Vol. Back to Jonathan. Doesn't take it, goes top, John Hill. John Hill onto the doorstep. 5-hole was open, but he rips it off the pipe.
What a move there. He deked around the defender, had an open one-on-one chance, but hit the pipe. John Hill with an impressive opportunity, but couldn't get it to go. And that's the only thing that's been stopping the Buffaloes. They've definitely the more dominant team here in this opening first half of a quarter.
Driving Cale Ryan responds, and ultimately, Dave, this is just the difference when you have an elite goalie who can make stop after stop on the defensive end. Less opportunities for your offense, but it doesn't ultimately make a difference when you keep the other team out of the back of the net.
Yeah, the Dramingos do have strong forwards like Ryan, Prusak, and Sanders, and that's all they need. They don't maybe need the long, sustained possessions like the Buffaloes have had. And while the Buffaloes' defense has been strong here early on, just opportunities happen to go for the Dramingos.
Dramingos with the possession and a chance to double up their lead now. Trace McDonald, skip pass over to Benjamin Pusek. He's got a great block from Keelan Seneca to create the pick screen. Seneca with the rebound on the crease. Gets the good goal. Had the screen assist on the missed shot, but catches the rebound and puts it back, and it's a 2-goal lead now for the Dramingos.
Keelan Seneca just benefiting from being in the right place to scoop up that loose ball and bury it on a yawning cage, as Seneca, who played 4 seasons at Albany before finishing up his college career at Canisius last year.
Of course, still in the thick of those college players that have that extra COVID year of eligibility, or with a redshirt season plus COVID, sometimes even 6 years of eligibility, and not able to stay at the same college all the time for those. Albany definitely not one of the ones that you stay at for usually more than 4. Feed onto the crease, gets broken up by Kyle Goncioric. Great stick onto that ball for the Buffaloes. Now in transition, a chance to drive all the way. What a shot. Low rip behind the back for Liam Keene. It doesn't go. Now a chance, though, for Trace McDonald. Down to the crease. Shoulder save by Constantopoulos. In transition, score by Blaze Becker. Answer in transition, Constantopoulos bags the apple with a heave out from his crease, and great work from Blaze Becker to get himself wide open down on the crease and take that high shot against Whittam.
Yeah, Becker heads up there in transition, something is Coach Ethan O'Connor loves to see, as he gets the long distance pass and is able to bury it in a huge goal for the Buffaloes, stopping the Dramingos run at 2 and getting them back within 1 here, as we're down to 3.5 to go in the opening quarter.
Buffaloes again on the offensive set, and it's a hidden ball trick. It's still with Gabe Edwards, but Whittam found it. Lost it, goes to Jonathan now, over to Snyder. Snyder down the alley, nowhere to go there. Skip pass, beautiful. John Hill wide open, 5 holes not though. Whittam again says no. Beautiful outlet to Keelan Seneca. Ball checked out by Aaron Eberhard. A big cause turnover right there, his 7th of the tournament. Now ball heaved downfield to Dalen John Hill. For anyone wondering, we do have, as my Wi-Fi reconnects, live stats for this game thanks to Scorebreak. Anyone watching along on NCBS.TV can check in on the stats there. Shot saved by Whittam. It gets a reset for the Buffaloes. And on this 14th possession of the game for the Buffaloes, they're not able to score. Ball heaved downfield by Whittam. Gets it to McDonald at the back door. McDonald goes up to Luke Fox. Playing a lefty 2-man game right now.
And Fox was awarded that first goal. We had a little confusion there between 4 and 14, but it was Fox on the first goal.
And then Ryan on their second one. So both of those 2 lefties finding the back of the net early here. And right now, actually all 3 of the goals in this game for the Dramingos scored by lefties. Not normal when their two leading goal scorers are righties. And the third righty scorer for the team in Joe Kovaleski bags the fourth Dramingos goal of the day. They are getting it from everyone else right now. This team's two leaders in points through the tournament, Benjamin Pusick and Ryan Sanders, neither of them has found the back of the net yet.
Yeah, both had 11 goals apiece coming into this game. But you're right, so far 4 goals coming from the other side of the floor. That one in tight for Kovaleski. Right on the top of the crease. Is he able to bury that one? Down to a minute remaining in this opening quarter. And the Dramingos looking to put back-to-back goals together again.
Shot is swallowed up in the armpit of Konstantopoulos. And able to escape off that one. Now what will be one of the last 2 possessions likely of this first quarter unless there's a goal scored. Here it's with Gabe Edwards. Edwards quick to John Hill. He's got a lane with some help from Kelvin Jonathan. Over to the top to Snyder. That bounces off a body into the crease. Off the pipe for Snyder. He's ripped the pipe a couple times early in this one. Sanders, rather. That's going to be fun going back and forth between the 15s, Snyder and Sanders today in this competition between the Dramingos and the Buffaloes. Cale Ryan goes to Sanders on the near side, down to the crease. Sanders, no, in the crease. No time left in the quarter, and that will bring an end to the first 15 minutes of this one. The Buffaloes trailing to the Dramingos 5-2, the scoreline right now, and it's the committee of the Dramingos offense finding the back of the net, and Nate Whittam putting the Brinks truck in the cage right now.
So the Buffalo controlled the play early in the first quarter, but just couldn't get their chances to drop. And now the Dramingos have taken back control in the second half of that opening quarter and had the shots go their way. But we've seen, a couple of post hits, especially from Snyder, and just the bounces need to start dropping for the Buffaloes.
They just need more possessions right now with shots on goal. They're getting shots, a lot of them finding the pipe, though, at the moment. Ethan O'Connor talking to the defensive unit right now. Zach Belter with the offensive unit at the moment. No Ian McKay for today's game. He was their OC yesterday. He was here for the first game on Thursday, then had to head up to Canada for his game for the Six Nations Chiefs. But ultimately, O'Connor and Belter, the normal Buffaloes coaches on any given game that they play in the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League.
Other side of the floor, Jason Crosby coaching up at one end of the Dramingos bench. Along with Brad MacArthur.
So a 2-goal game at the end of the first quarter. Had a bit of a mishap on the scoreboard at the end of that one, with that goal having been counted initially on the scoreboard, then called back. So a 2-goal lead right now for the Dramingos in this one. The goals for the team out of San Francisco and Florida scored by Keelan Seneca. Got to flip to the right sheet and look at the right rosters. Luke Fox, Keelan Seneca, Cale Ryan, and that last one that they had scored by Joe Kovaleski. Ryan Sanders thought he had a goal on the far post, but stepped in the crease with 2 seconds left. And now we're ready for quarter number 2 between the rematch of the Buffaloes and the Dramingos. It was a 12-10 Buffalo win in the first game of this tournament on Wednesday. But in that fourth quarter, the Dramingos led at one point by 1 goal, 10-9, before it was brought back by the Buffaloes. And Tall Chief and Wessel will be at the face-off dot. And a conversation with both face-off specialists with the referee before they get ready for that one. That is very much an area in the game of lacrosse where there's always got to be an open line of communication between the referee and the specialists. So much intricacy with that face-off, and so many questions can be asked on a regular basis to make sure that no rules are being broken.
You see it a lot just from my vantage point watching NLL games and watching Connor Farrell as he's learned adjusting from the field to the box game, and almost, especially in his first couple seasons in the NLL, he always got better throughout the game because he adjusted not only to his style, but how each ref calls their face-offs and all the different things you got to look for, especially in an NLL game. You've got the referee light that goes off first before they set and get down for the face-off. So a lot of intricacies to the face-off game, and communication is a big part of that.
And always interesting as the Buffaloes trying to capitalize here with a bouncer shot from Jonathan. Going to add to that, it's interesting when you talk to those face-off specialists in the NLL, and they'll talk about how, yeah, the first couple of face-offs, you never know. Really, they don't define the game often unless it's someone like Jake Withers that's taking those face-offs. And often it's a feeling out process in the early goings. And still, at this point, feels like it's a feeling out process between Wessel and O'Brien Tall Chief. But Sanders loses his stick on that possession. Ball up the floor, Blaze Becker corrals it, has Ryan Vahl, doesn't go to him. Instead clears it back to Dalen John Hill. John Hill's shot swallowed on the 5-hole. And as we look at the face-offs right now in this game for O'Brien Tall Chief, he is listed as 2 of 6 on the dot. Shot there by Kogan, bounces off the backboards. Jonathan tries to keep it in. It's going to count technically as over and back. And chance for the Dramingos now to make it a 3-goal lead. Kovaleski was wide open on the crease, but Peters with the late closeout gets there. Inside the look, Cale Ryan down the alley. That one's wide. Rebound attempt to Pusick. That one just get bumped right over the pipe by Konstantopoulos. It almost still found the back of the net. And Dylan Snow will bring the ball up for the Buffaloes. Snyder goes to X, trying to find the backdoor feed. Could not get it connected to Ryan Vahl. Now back out wide with Dalen John Hill. Pick from Edwards. He gets it with space. It's right off the chest of Whittem. Got to get a more deceptive shot than that for the Buffaloes. They still trail by 2.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing, Chamberlain. He got it wide open, no one around him, but he just right into the chest of the goaltender. Need to do better on great chances like that.
Quick ball movement from the Dramingos. Ball loose, though, now. Initially scooped up by Kyle Gonsioric, and then Connor Murphy. Yard sale from Ryan Sanders. It's back the other way. Big check from 15 in blue. Pusick now, inside look for Seneca. Takes the shot with almost no windup on that one. No good, but a reset to the shot clock. Got a glove to that, Konstantopoulos. We've got a delayed penalty now. 6-on-5 for the Dramingos. Sanders goes to Pusick. Pusick winding, that's blocked. And now Keene trying to get onto the ground ball. Nobody's scooped it up just yet. Pusick comes up with it. Still a 6-on-5. 7 seconds left. Sanders into the gut of Konstantopoulos. And now the penalty for an illegal substitution. And the in-home will have to go into the box for the Buffaloes.
Tell you what, we are wrapping up this tournament. Probably the best head-to-head jersey matchup, I think, as the Dramingos wearing their blue jerseys for this game. Outstanding with the white numbers, and then gotta love the red, white, and blue look for the Buffaloes. For those of you familiar with the movie, 6-pack Brewster Baker. Obviously, no one that isn't into racing probably gets that reference, but either way, outside of maybe the Crabbers black jerseys, these are probably two of the best in the tournament.
Well, and actually, though, I will say, Dave, you missed out on what I think are the best uniforms of the entire tournament. The Crabbers white alternates that they broke out for that 7th place game were a Riptide design, white with sea foam, almost looked like a New York Islanders reverse retro jersey for the Crabbers there yesterday. But no doubt, red, white, and blue, a perfect color combo in any sport. And Pusick gets a reset on the shot clock off that shot on the low left righty wing. Strong left right now for the Dramingos. Sanders goes to Seneca, rips that one, it's wide. Bounces all the way out of the box, and that one will be off target, so it goes back to the Buffaloes. What a pull there, Dave. I'm not a racing fan, so I did not get the six-pack
If you want to see a movie with Kenny Rogers and a teenage Diane Lane, find the movie Six Pack.
Keep it on the radar. And the shot from Snyder, fully loaded, no good. Battle for the ground ball now. Great way to come up with that for the Dramingos. Brooks Van Esselston. He's been so good in transition for this Dramingos team throughout this tournament. Hidden ball trick. It stays with Sanders. Constantopoulos has it. Around the horn they go. Cale Ryan and Sanders playing catch. Sanders with it now. Skips it to Seneca. Shot clock violation. Good work from the Buffaloes. Penalty kill. And very similarly to the Hawkeyes penalty kill that's run by Dan Coates, this Buffalo's penalty kill run by Ethan O'Connor, they're going to have some sound tactics when they only got 4 on the floor.
Yeah, that was a good job forcing the full 30 seconds of the shot clock and now able to kill off the last seconds of this penalty as we're back to 5-on-5, nearing the halfway point of the second quarter. But the Buffalo's offense now got to start converting some chances. It's been a while since they've gotten on the board with their second goal of the game.
And Jones, with that opportunity right there, can't capitalize. Edwards tried to battle for it, but because it was not a shot on target, shot clock expires. On the outside, it's Trace McDonald. Inside look, goes to Fox, and he buries it. The lefty two-man game works to perfection for the Dramingos with Luke Fox and Trace McDonald working it to the inside off the pick and roll.
Fox is second of the game and just able to just sneak it in that corner around Zach Constantopoulos' right shoulder here halfway through this second quarter as the run, not really a run, but back-to-back goals again for the Dramingos. And Dramingos will get the ball right back off the faceoff.
So a chance now for Max Crum to get this possession started as he'll be staying out there to lay the lumber a bit. Cale Ryan rolls into the wide open lefty alley, goes to the back door. Ball rebounded. That's in the crease.
How does Zach Constantopoulos keep that ball out? 2 chances right on his doorstep. Sprawled out on the floor, but he uses that big 6'6" size to his advantage to block up that net.
A massive stop, just somehow got part of his body out in front of that one, and then the rebound not able to make it through. Now a chance from the top of the key, it's Dalen John Hill. Skip pass, Kogan, wide open, buries! Bouncers will go, Dave.
And what a wraparound shot around the defender, Kogan, the high school senior, with a pretty one there as the bouncer finds its way around the far side of Nathan Whittam. And Kogan ends the 2-goal streak once again for the Dramingos. 5-3 with 5:45 to go in the first half. See if Buffaloes can put some back-to-back goals together here and get within 1 before halftime at least. Loose ball push Going to give Dramingos the ball right back, though.
And Kogan, that was his 11th goal of the tournament with that bouncer take. Leads the Buffaloes in goals and points with now 17. Cycle around. Here's Luke Fox, hat trick hunting. Kicked over now, Kovaleski goes to Sanders. He's got so much space, but it's off target. Rebound, over and back. Chance now for Becker. Becker to the crease, takes it off the pipe.
That is what, the third or fourth pipe of this first half for the Buffaloes.
Between Becker and Snyder, they've found it at least 3 times so far in this opening half. Becker, a goal already in this one, not able to capitalize on that opportunity. Dalen John Hill and company, ball falls to Snyder at X. And Vol was the last one to step in the crease, but the first one to receive the pass on that one, and so it will go as a crease violation for the Buffaloes. 2-goal game right now. Last one scored by Luke Fox last Dramingos goal scored by Luke Fox. Chase Kogan with the last goal of this one so far. Across the front, Sanders spinning, finds Seneca. That shot off the back of the cage. Rebound by Goncioric, gets it out to Aaron Eberhardt. 44 and 41 in the red, white, and blue have both been key on the ground ball battles throughout this tournament. Connor Murphy and Kyle Goncioric. Over to the far side, Dalen John Hill kicks it all the way to Noah Snyder. Snyder hitches, rolls inside, gets square. That shot off target. It looked like it was maybe a pass to Kelvin Benjamin, actually. He'll be able to corral it, reset. There's Snyder now, takes the step down. It's off the mark.
Yeah, and Jonathan took that wide shot right in the breadbasket from his teammate. If it was a pass, it had some heat on it.
And the Buffaloes had one already back in transition to get out the D door. That's why there was nobody for that rebound. Sanders shot saved by Konstantopoulos. Xavier Peters has Chase Kogan for help. Spinning, can't get his hands free, has to back out of it.
Of course, Ryan Sanders probably won't go far after this tournament. It was just announced this week, he's transferring to RIT from Cal Poly.
A chance to play on a floor that he will not play a lot on here at RIT on their intramural turf, actually. But
got a hold here against the Dramingos with 2.5 left in this opening half. The Buffaloes will get a chance on the power play.
A major opportunity to cut this deficit down to 1 with just over 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in this first half. It's going to be a hold called against Anders Norman on that one. Norman into the box.
Zach Belter sends out his power play unit with Snyder, Jonathan, John Hill,
strong righty
and Jones.
Set. Strong righty set with Dalen, John Hill, and Snyder as the shooters. Jones at the point. Down low, it's Jonathan. To the point. Back to Jonathan. Low lefty wing. That's off the leg pad. Rebound, though, is good. Dalen, John Hill on the Kobe assist by Kelvin Jonathan. And the Buffaloes make it a 1-goal game. Penalty over for Norman.
That power play unit just closed in. Got the shot off, and John Hill was there to scoop up the loose ball on the rebound and bury it. And a huge goal here, as now it's back-to-back goals for the Buffaloes within 1, as it'll be about a minute to go in the half once we resume play. Tall Chief trying to win the ball for his team, but
we got a push against Wessel as the call on that face-off battle. And possession to the Buffaloes. Final minute of this first half. 30-second difference between the shot and game clock, though, so not the last possession. They're calling an illegal screen on Ryan Vol. Heaved down to the floor by Whittem. A chance now, still likely not the final possession of this half, unless it's a goal that gets scored. Pusick takes it all the way to X, flips it to Sanders on the far side wing. Now back to Fox, back to Sanders. Sanders with the hitch to the top. That shot deflected in front. Rebound by Seneca's good, though. 20 seconds remain, and it will likely not be another face-off in this quarter, just based off of the way that both of these teams are leaving the scrum of that goal by Keelan Seneca, the former Albany product.
And we got a timeout with 3.5 seconds left, and
clock will just get called for the halftime break. That was that signal as they'll let it run down, and the Buffaloes trail by 2 at the end of the first half to this Dramingos squad. Nate Whittem putting on maybe his best performance so far of the tournament, trying to play the best cat and mouse stop that he can in this one. Right now, bouncers, half of what is going for the Buffaloes. They're going to need more answers as they get into the second half, Dave.
Yeah, they're going to have to try and shake off that last goal they gave up, as they were hoping to kind of rise momentum into the half. They had back-to-back goals within one, but give up that one to Seneca with just a few seconds remaining. So both teams will head back, and we'll see who can take command here going into the second half.
The gold medal game of the National Collegiate Box Series. It's a rematch of game number 1, bookending this NCBS tournament with the Dramingos and the Buffaloes. Dramingos up 6-4. We'll be right back in about 10 minutes with the second half of this one. Welcome back to this gold medal game of the National Collegiate Box Series Finals. The Dramingos of San Francisco and Florida taking on the Buffaloes. You know where they're from. Ready for this one to start in the second half. Benjamin Pusick has not scored yet in this one. 11 goals on the tournament so far for the IMG Academy product, the Marquette commit. Able to keep control of that ball. Now Ryan Sanders and Keelan Seneca will sub in. Ball off the mark on the pass from Sanders. Now a chance up across midfield. Broken up. Blaze Becker tried to get a bit of an expectation on that ball, but with this new turf, with the black pellets, a little bit slower on the bounces and could not anticipate that one right. Now on the outside, it's McDonald. Over the top, now Sanders. Inside for Fox. Rolling, surveying, goes skip pass. Now turning, Kovaleski had his shoulders square to the cage. That one's off target. Dylan Snow takes it out the other way. Dalen John Hill holding up possession, waiting for the rest of his offensive teammates. Now kicks it over to the far side with Matt Jones. Jones goes to Noah Snyder. Snyder at the top of the key, spinning around defenders, goes to John Hill. His shot, catch and shoot, no good. And Pasquale and Jonathan getting tied up at the end of that one. No call coming from it, though, and another chance now for the Dramingos to extend their 2-goal lead. From the outside, Fox hat-trick hunting. That ball was tipped off of a Buffalo, but it's not going to make it all the way to the cage. Chance for Aubrey Tallchief, and that one, no good. He gets wrecked into the boards, and he went head first into the boards on that one. Tallchief trying to get his helmet off as he just went awkwardly into the boards behind the play on that one. And
Zach Belter, first one over there as the training staff having to come from the other side of the building, is now going to come and check on Aubrey Tallchief. I don't even know if he was pushed. It's just more so he fell into the boards with his momentum behind the play.
And definitely Ethan O'Connor is asking for it to be a penalty, and ultimately the refs are going to discuss whether it is that or not. And Tallchief with his helmet off, staying on the ground right now. One huddle for the Buffaloes around Zach Belter. And hearing from Brad MacArthur on that far side that if it is a penalty, he's going to challenge the call on that one. Of course, we've been talking, I feel like, throughout this tournament about a couple calls that if there were replays, maybe there would be challenges in certain situations, but not an option that we get. And they are calling a dragon into the penalty box. Five-minute for checking from behind called against Jake Morris for the Dramingos. And that is a major opportunity for the Buffaloes, but honestly, still worrisome for Tallchief as he turns onto his back now finally. Tallchief has been taking all of the faceoffs here today for the Buffaloes.
I've backed up the feed as the ball goes across, Tallchief chasing it down. He goes in one-on-one. The Dramingos player from behind gives him a little shove in the back as Tallchief kind of crumbles just before the boards. So as Tall Chief now is getting to his feet with assistance from one of his teammates and somebody from the Dramingos coaching staff.
And really, really key to see right there from Aubrey Tall Chief. They were being very careful with his movement on the ground during that, and to see him walking under his own powers, about as much as you could hope for if you're a Buffaloes player or fan. And now his offense will have to do it for him. And ultimately, not a lot to that hit, but at the end of the day, with it being late and in such a dangerous area and the outcome of it, it almost becomes one of those penalties that you just can't get away from in that situation.
And it was
So Crosby, rather, is the one that goes into the box for that.
Yeah, the jersey number change for Jaron Crosby, but there was a slight push from behind, which gave an extra shot of momentum to Tall Chief, and that he started to crumble when he came down.
So a 5-minute major will be 2 goals to go back to even strength, but it will be Crosby serving the entire penalty of those, all 5 of those minutes, no matter what. And Dramingos want to challenge it with an iPad on their bench, being able to see the broadcast, but they will not be able to. And now a power play opportunity for the Buffaloes. And Kogan over to Snyder. Snyder from the low righty wing goes back to Kogan running the point. Now Kelvin Jonathan goes to X. Back to Snyder. Thought about the shot. Kicks it top. Kogan back to Snyder. He has space. What a seal from Dalen John Hill. And Noah Snyder able to bury that opportunity with a beautiful seal-off pick by Dalen John Hill to give him the space for that one. So that'll be 1 back in this 1-goal game now. And, of course, with it being that major penalty, a chance to score again for the Buffaloes. We've got a loose ball in the corner of the turf. Benjamin Pusik just tossed it out of play so that we could get rolling once again. And now, with just under 12 to go in this third quarter.
And Caden Brennan took the draw there because Tall Chief was the face-off man for the Buffaloes. That'll be something to watch going forward here in the second half. But back-to-back power play goals now for the Buffaloes as well. Within 1.
Pusik holding up the ball, takes it down low against Kyle Goncioric. No doubles just yet, keeping the extra guy on the crease for the Buffaloes. Still 3:20 on that penalty, 2 seconds on the shot clock. Cale Ryan can't find a shooting opportunity with it, and Brennan will bring this one up across the midfield stripe. Quick dish to Gabe Edwards. Kelvin Jonathan to Dalen John Hill. John Hill's the one at the point. Jonathan trying to set the screen. Doesn't work out there. Snyder back to John Hill. Thought about it, ripped it right to the chest of Whittem. Whittem heaves it down the floor successfully off with that pass, and Trace McDonald will back out with that one. They're going to be able to kill this penalty down to 2:20 if they go for a full shot clock. And Chase Kogan is staying out of the O-door right now. Shot off a chest of Konstantopoulos. It's not going to go over and back because it was saved. And now a chance to kill off another 30 from the Dramingos.
I think there was a little confusion on how much time was left on the shot clock, but regardless, still a great play from the Dramingos. Get the shot off, hit the goalie, and got a lucky bounce that allows them to kill some more time as they're down to 2 minutes left on the major.
It'll be around 1:52 left on that penalty when the Buffaloes get it back. Saved by Constantopoulos. Battle for the ground ball. Could be another reset on the penalty kill. That's going to be a push into the wall procedural. Oh, but they say it's staying with the Buffaloes. I thought that was going to go to the team in blue, but instead, Buffaloes take this one and get another chance now on their power play. Dramingos bench frustrated with that call, understandably, but still power play for the Buffaloes. Skip pass to the back, can't finish for Matt Jones. Snyder trying to feed it back there, and now out of the O-door goes Fox. Kick to Pusick. Still going to be about 50 seconds on this penalty if it's only one possession for the Dramingos. Kovaleski down to Pusick. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Pusick turns towards the crease. He's in. He was in the crease on that one as he fell down, and now a chance with 50 seconds left on the power play. The Buffaloes will only really have one possession before they're in a threat of a fast break opportunity the other way out of the door. Dalen John Hill goes to Kogan. Strong lefty set. Skip pass to Snyder. Hitches that ball to Dalen John Hill. Wide open for Jonathan. Glove saved by Whittem. Ball pops over the over the Dramingos cage, and it's scooped up and across the midfield line with Jonah Boronek.
Jonathan slightly off target there. There was a little room short side, but couldn't get the ball to go where he wanted it to get this game tied up as now the 5-minute major expires for Crosby.
What a kill, ultimately, from the Dramingos, only allowing one goal on that 5-minute major. And that goal came in the opening minute of that 5-minute major. So a 4-minute penalty kill put on by the Dramingos. That could be something to gain some momentum from. Jonathan trying to create his own momentum. Rebound shot is kicked away. And it's scooped up by the Buffaloes, and they get a reset on that as it was momentarily in the cross of a Dramingos defender. Dalen John Hill now, strong righty set, gets it to Kogan, his shot into the 5-hole of Whittem.
Buffalo's mainly going with these outside shots as of late, and with a big goalie like Whittem, it's hard to find the back of the net. Maybe get the big guy moving a little bit more side to side to try and get this game tied back up.
Something the Buffaloes have gotten away from a little bit in this game also. Those backdoor looks, those are definitely the way to get a goalie off platform. Dalen John Hill goes to Kogan. Rather, that's Ryan Vall. Now into the middle for Dalen John Hill. His shot off the mark. Saved wide by Whittem. Now in transition, here comes Max Crum. Crum, quick pass to Sander, or rather that's Pusick. And Pusick battling with Blaze Becker. Gets the ball checked, but successful pass to Kovaleski. Now for Pusick, spinning. Behind the back pass goes to X with that one, and somehow through the legs with the score. Trace McDonald bags the 7th for the Dramingos. Constantopoulos got to his back post and tried to close everything up, but somehow that ball got between the legs of Constantopoulos and through the 5-hole on a dunk attempt.
One of the prettiest goals of the tournament there from McDonald on the wraparound, and he was pumped on that one, and well-deserved goal from Trace McDonald, his 4th of the tournament, and a huge goal here with 5:45 to go in the third quarter. Dramingos get their 2-goal lead back.
And quick note, some health notes. Aubrey Tallchief back on the bench for the Buffaloes with his helmet on. Good to see out of the training room and back with the squad on the bench. Ball to the Dramingos on this possession initially. We're going to get a penalty now for a push in the back. It's going to be, I'm guessing, on the Buffaloes. It is. Extra after that one, and actually it's the Dramingos headed to the box on this one. I thought it was the Buffaloes, but then Constantopoulos headed right out of the crease after his team started to get the ball. Cross-check to Trace McDonald right after he scored the goal. He's going to have to go into the box now. And
no, it is Buffalo. It's Eberhard.
Oh, all right. I was wondering why Trace McDonald was walking into the box. I was going to say that didn't look like, with the way the hand went up, that it would be a Dramingos penalty.
There's some confusion. Now Eberhard's walking back to the Buffaloes bench. The scoreboard does show the penalty is on the Dramingos, and it is McDonald. You were right the first time, but the way Eberhard was kind of walking towards the penalty box.
I think he heard 6, and he didn't want anybody to get bounced or put into the box for a call that wasn't actually there. Chance now on the power play again, but it was a big kill earlier in this third quarter by the Dramingos. Snyder can go to the point for Kogan, skips it instead to Dalen John Hill. John Hill, low to high, no good. That one's going to bounce wide. And over and back, as it did not go on target. And the kill for the Dramingos now. Kovaleski goes to Sanders. Sanders down to the corner for Seneca.
Aubrey Tallchief just went back to the locker room, by the way.
Maybe just coming in to let the guys know that he is all right. Not going to play in the rest of this one, but able to get himself up and walking without assistance on that one. Ball dropped into the corner on the kill. Under a minute left on the penalty now against Trace McDonald. Buffaloes trail by 2. Gabe Edwards with the pill goes to Noah Snyder. Jonathan, John Hill, and Edwards, the 3 lefties. John Hill let that one go from up high, swallowed in the 5-hole by Whittem. There's the outlet on the money to Cale Ryan. Ryan catches that one in stride, trying to go down behind the cage. Ball gets checked out. Battle for the ground ball. Pusick comes in to give some assistance. And it'll be Ryan and Pusick battling for it. A reset to the shot clock.
Now Buffalo got to hurry with the 8 seconds.
Kogan able to get it up across the midfield line with that one. We're trying to work the hidden ball trick. Kogan still has it. Kicks it to Dalen John Hill. All the way over with Jones driven into the ground, trying to get onto the ground ball. They're going to get a delayed penalty. It's a hold is the call, as it was Matt Jones trying to get to the goal mouth and got just driven right into the ground and then held onto the ground as he was trying to get the ball out of his stick. And that's what will bring the penalty against Jaron Crosby.
It's 88, Kyle Zansky getting the call.
Got to get a change on the board then or 2. There we go. Switching up the penalties. They thought it was 22 on the scoreboard. That's where I got Jaron Crosby from. But
Dramingos' penalty kill's been strong here in this third quarter.
That might even be an understatement, Dave, the way that they've played. They've been on the penalty kill. This will be their 8th and 9th minutes on the penalty kill, and they've only given up 1 goal, a man down in this quarter. Constantopoulos able to come away with the ball in his own crease, heaves it upfield for Jones. Jones with an opportunity to get another shot after being drilled into the ground on that last possession. Here's Snyder from the top, getting a pick from John Hill. That ball's off the mark. Rebound by Kogan. Inside for John Hill. That ball hit the turf. His stick hit the turf as he was trying the low to high shot on the release. Ball heaved all the way downfield on the money with the rainbow feed to Luke Fox. And Fox now creating some space, under a minute on the penalty. 5 seconds left on the quarter clock. Sanders to the goal mouth, goes for it, and it's good. Ryan Sanders, his first goal of the game, comes short-handed at the end of the third quarter, and the Dramingos with a 3-goal lead despite 9 or 8 and change minutes of short-handed play in that third quarter, still holding strong with their lead.
Maybe the ultimate juice goal right there, short-handed, dying seconds of the quarter, and Sanders got around Connor Murphy to pull off the cross-crease dive and buried it around Zach Constantopoulos. But what a goal. That's now the end of 2 quarters. The Dramingos have scored some big goals in this game. They did one right before the half to take the 2-goal advantage on the Seneca goal. And now Sanders with shorthanded goals, back-to-back goals for the Dramingos, and they take a 3-goal lead. They are now 15 minutes away from a national championship, up 3.
The largest lead by either team yet in this game today, that 3-goal margin. And the Buffalo's power play has just not been able to find any sort of answer for Nate Whittam in this third quarter. The best penalty killer that any team can have, usually when you have a good penalty kill, it runs off of your goalie, and that's ultimately what is happening right now. Just, he is absolutely in the head of the Buffaloes at this point. They're ripping everything from the outside, and ultimately they aren't letting a shot go unless they have traffic in front, but that doesn't mean that Whittam isn't still seeing the ball find its way to his crease.
Yeah, they've been trying to let Dalen John Hill, Noah Snyder, just trying to rip it from the outside, and Whittam's been seeing most of those shots pretty clearly. As Whittam definitely in consideration for one of the MVPs of this tournament. Again, a backup goaltender in the NLL, backup to Dylan Ward, the Colorado Mammoth, but only 19 years of age.
Crazy to think that one of the goalies in this tournament is a player that lives in the same boat as Matt DeLuca. Not ultimately something that I thought I would say in the National Collegiate Box Series game, but Whittam is absolutely dominating in this performance so far today. For him in this game, he's 86%. He's currently credited with 6 saves in this one, and we'll hit an update on the score break stats and see if we can get any more update to those numbers. Actually, whoa, way off. 26 saves, 84% though, to this point. Stats had not updated since the first quarter on my screen. Meanwhile, on the other end for Zach Constantopoulos, 16 saves for the Buffaloes netminder. Possession.
40 saves for Whittam, 29 saves so far for Constantopoulos through 3 quarters.
A little slow on my RIT guest Wi-Fi here with the MacBook, but thanks for keeping us up to date on that one, Dave, and that will kill the penalty for the Dramingos. Back to even strength. Dalen John Hill feeds it for Edwards, off the post and out. In and out of the crease by the Dramingos will keep possession with the Buffaloes, though.
Yeah, Buffalo's out shooting the Dramingos 47-36 through the first 3 quarters of this game.
Matt Jones to the far side. Edwards looking for the inside feed. Can't find Snyder at the back door. Ball gets kicked. Ground ball battle. Van Esselston almost came away with it, but it's Snyder instead. Able to toe drag it away from one man. Tried to just flick it towards the cage, and it's right off the chest protector of Whittam.
Van Esselstein, one of the couple players on this Dramingos team that goes to Florida Tech, where he studies aerospace engineering.
Big brain from that lacrosse player right there in Brooks Van Esselston. Dalen John Hill, or rather Dylan Snow, able to corral that ground ball in the defensive end for the Buffaloes. Now a chance on offense. Once again, the Buffaloes trail by 3 in this one. They haven't been held to single-digit goals in a single game of the tournament so far, and now on the save, we're going to get a penalty against Max Crum. Another chance on the power play for the Buffaloes here. 2-minute slash against Max Crum. And the Buffaloes, Chase Kogan will start with this possession. And ultimately, it's another power play for the Buffaloes. This, if it serves its full time, it'll be 11 minutes on the kill in the second half by this Buffalo squad, or by this Dramingos squad, rather. 5-hole save by Whittem off the Snyder shot. Heaved up floor and able to cross the midfield stripe for the Dramingos. It's Anders Norman. Norman takes it inside the restraining line, feeds it down low for Pusick. Pusick goes to Sanders. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Keelan Seneca now. Skips it over, intercepted by Kelvin Jonathan. A play called for by Belter to Kelvin Jonathan on that one. Let's see if this ball moves through 21. Gabe Edwards over to John Hill. Now to Snyder. Snyder with space. That rip saved by Whittem. It resets the shot clock, though. Still 45 seconds on the penalty for the Buffaloes. Penalty against the Dramingos. Kelvin Jonathan rips the near post pipe. John Hill with another ground ball, gets a reset. Jonathan with a lane, takes it, no good. That was the shot Whittem wanted. And we've got a slash call against Kelvin Jonathan. As slow to get up at the end of that one was Jonah Boronek. And we will be at 4-on-4 for about 10 seconds. And really no time almost at all, as it's going to be a release from the penalty box for Max Crum right as this power play essentially starts. They got to wait until the whistle at 4-on-4. And now a power play opportunity for the Dramingos. They haven't had a power opportunity in this second half. They've been still able to score, though, shorthanded. Sanders to Fox, now over to Ryan. Inside, Pusick can't handle it. Ryan, though, or Sanders going to be able to get to the rebound. Sanders with space on that far side wing. Skip pass over to Seneca. Around one man, shot clock violation. Ball down the line for the Buffaloes. 1:15 still on their penalty now as they are down a man. Dalen John Hill from the outside. Thought about it, let it fly. 5-hole closed. It's been closed most of the day by Nate Whittem. Doesn't let it through there.
Yeah, we've heard the sound of balls hitting the leg and chest pads of Nathan Whittem all morning long here at Ritter Arena, or into the early afternoon, I should say, as the Buffaloes cannot get balls past the big netminder. As the Dramingos looking for the dagger here, possibly, to go up by 4. And there it is. Amazing ball movement by the Dramingos. Tic-tac-toe and a wraparound from in behind the net.
Lulling the Buffaloes defense to sleep as just no movement to the inside. And normally when you see that, you see a very stagnant power play. Instead on this one, the Buffaloes weren't ready for the quick action at the back door. And that is a berry opportunity for the Dramingos squad. 8 minutes left to play in this fourth quarter. The 4-goal lead, the biggest of the day for this Dramingos squad. And ultimately, with Aubrey Tallchief going out of this game at the faceoff dot, made it a lot harder of a game for the Buffaloes as Aaron Eberhard was in on that draw. Loose ball, he was able to muck it up and creates a possession for the Buffaloes at even strength now. Buffaloes with Kogan over the top. Kicks it out wide to Edwards. Edwards gets a pick. Now John Hill rips it low again. The 5-hole is shut. Ball checked out of the stick as Maxwell Olsen Berkman tries to get it forward. It crosses the midfield stripe. It was grabbed by Dylan Snow. He holds on to it and is able to get it across the midfield stripe. Strong work in transition. Reverse transition by Dylan Snow there. Kogan now. Up past goal line extended, feeds it down to Ryan Vall. To the goal line, tried to go far post. He could not get it past Whittem on that one.
Inside chance for the Buffaloes, but not much on the shot from Vall. An easy leg save for Whittem. Under 7 to go here in the game.
Sanders to Ryan. Down the wing for Fox. Back to Sanders. Into the middle goes Pusik. Behind the back, shots off target. It almost bounced into the cage off the back of Zach Konstantopoulos, but he gets on top of it. 6.5 minutes to play. Still a 4-goal game in this gold medal matchup between the Buffaloes and the Dramingos. Buffaloes in white, Dramingos in blue. Noah Snyder trying to get around the top, goes to Kogan. Kogan pulls it down. Back into the middle. That shot's wide and off the mark. Crum chased it down until it was a confirmed over and back. And now it'll be another Dramingos possession with under 6 minutes to play in this regulation. Ryan finds Seneca. Lost the ball. Swats it towards Cale Ryan. He scoops up the ground ball. Big hit to Eberhard to keep it. Now with Seneca, low shot saved by Konstantopoulos.
Impressive job bouncing off the check, keeping possession for a great opportunity. That one was on the turf between Konstantopoulos' legs, but did not trickle in.
Kogan with a seal from Jones. Can't get that one to go. Whittem with a save. And now back down the other way. Go the Dramingos. Pusik crosses the restraining line. All the way down to the crease. Goes far post. Leg saved by Konstantopoulos. Got it out on that one, and Pusik falls into the crease with that, and now coming back the other way for the Buffaloes. They've only got 5 minutes left to play. It's a running clock until the final 2 of this one. Snyder flips to Jones. Jones can't get inside against a double team, gets battered to the turf. Ball out. It's going to be a delayed penalty. Not sure who it's against, though. It's a delayed penalty against the Dramingos is the call. Slash against Jaron Crosby. Timeout taken by the Buffaloes with 4.5 minutes to play. And the Dramingos with a 4-goal lead right now, but the Buffaloes are going to get another opportunity on the power play. Their quick math here. 5th power play opportunity of the second half alone, and one of those 5 opportunities was a 5-minute major.
Yeah, they're almost spending a whole full quarter on the power play here in this second half.
And only one power play goal to show for it, though.
Exactly. Yeah, and that is the story of the game right there, is the Buffaloes not able to take advantage and beat Nathan Whittem. As Whittem, at least 49 saves in this game. Right now, stats showing 54 shots on goal for the Buffaloes.
And out of the timeout break, the Buffaloes ultimately just needed to stop the clock. That's why they took that timeout there and wanted to be able to have enough time to work something together here for a comeback. They'll start out on the power play. And in the box is one of the key defenders for this Kings squad in Jaron Crosby. Possession to Kogan at the top of the key. Goes to Snyder. He's the righty shooter. Back to Kogan. Over to Kelvin Jonathan. Skip pass to Snyder. Snyder back to the point for Kogan. Snyder. Shot into the gullet of Whittem, and it almost trickled through, but he stopped it right at the last second. Heave down the floor towards Sanders. No, he doesn't come up with it. Loose ball still behind the Buffalo's cage, and it's scooped up by Kelvin Jonathan.
And Dramingos already in a prevent defense. They kept 3 men in the D zone. To
backdoor feed, Dalen John Hill.
Yeah, I didn't think that went in.
Ball was not in the net, but tried to feed it across to Jones at the back door. Initially, referee calls it a goal. Upon further review, no goal. And now a chance for the Dramingos to kill off some time on this penalty. 1 minute remaining on the penalty. Shot clock was not started. 20 seconds left on the shot clock as we've got a countdown from the referee. Here's Trace McDonald. 15 now. McDonald all the way down to X and finds his way into the back of the net. Trace McDonald said, "This is my game. I'm ready for a cup."
McDonald saving the best for last in this tournament as his second gorgeous wraparound goal after getting hampered behind the net by, I believe, Gonasoric, who had an arm all over him. He shook it off and went for the wraparound and just got it to go. And McDonald has had 2 huge goals here in the second half. He got the 7th goal. He got the 7th goal to stop the Buffalo's hopes of tying this game with a big wraparound, and then that one there, which might put the icing on this cake.
Kogan shot right into the stick of Whittem. It's on the crease, and Dalen John Hill stepped in it as he tried to get a swat on that ball. And now, with that penalty expired, Dramingos could not cross the midfield stripe before the 8-second violation. Back with the Buffaloes. Kelvin Jonathan crosses the midfield stripe. Dish to Gabe Edwards. Behind the back pass. That goes right off of a referee. It was off target. Gabe Edwards throws his man into the boards. And that's going to be a procedural ball back to the Dramingos.
Well, this game has not gone well for the Buffaloes, but still their strongest performance ever in a national tournament, going to the final game after watching their fellow UCBL teams, the Hawkeyes, win the national championship last year. But this hybrid California-Florida Dramingos team came loaded with strong forwards and excellent goaltending.
Definitely cannot be understated the impact of Nate Whittem in this tournament for the Dramingos. He had an outstanding first game, and yet I would still say he got better with every single minute that he played in this tournament.
Yeah, he was lights out against the Hawkeyes in the semis, and the forwards were outstanding in that game against the Hawkeyes as well. But Whittem really earned it for his team today, shutting down the numerous power play opportunities.
And in the final minute of this one, we're going to get an ejection of Ryan Vall. And an ejection, and a penalty now on Dalen John Hill. So it'll be 2 men down for the Buffaloes, as this game, if it wasn't over already, it's definitely over now. John Hill ejected as well for an extra slash at the end. And now that's going to be 2 in-homes needed from the Buffaloes. Yep, and referee calling for a second in-home now.
All this happening with the clock frozen at 55.5 seconds. And
so 5-on-3, 10-minute misconduct on both Vol and John Hill.
well, it's probably more officially, and actually 53 saves for Whittem is the latest update.
That is a disturbed performance, to say the least, from a keeper.
50 saves is impressive in an NLL game, let alone here in the NCBS, as 30 seconds left in this one.
Final 25 seconds of this one. Owen McKay is going to stay in the offense on this one now, and he might start something, it looks like, as he gets in on that one. Aaron Eberhardt, Blaze Becker, and Owen McKay, the three out there right now, and we're going to get some more bodies going as Owen McKay is going to get ejected now.
And that's it.
And that will be the final. The refs say let the clock roll on that kind of extracurriculars. And it does. The Dramingos, the champions of the National Collegiate Box Series, on the backs of Nate Whittem in cage. Absolutely no doubt about it. The team MVP through this tournament. It was a by-committee effort from their offense today. Coming into the day, a two-headed attack of Ryan Sanders and Ben Pusick. They got shut down in this one. Pusick, no goals for him. All the lefties, only one for Sanders in this one. And ultimately, they come out with a dominant 5-goal win. And no doubt, when you only allow 5 goals in the final, you got to give credit for that one to your goalie.
Yeah, you hit it right in the head there with the Dramingos offense. It's been about Sanders and Prusek, but today, McDonald with 2. You had Fox with 2. Keelan Seneca, including the huge goal at the end of the first half. I mean, they got goal scoring, as you said, goal scoring by committee today. And that with the excellent lights-out goaltending from Whittem will give GM Shaden Santos, coaches Brad MacArthur and Jason Crosby a championship here in the NCBS. As the handshake line, Whittem and Constantopoulos shaking hands.
And as we look at the stats for this one, 4 lefties had 2 goals for the Dramingos in this one. For reference, when we look at the leading scorers in the entire tournament, it was Trace McDonald is the first lefty on that list, and you have to scroll through at least 15 other players in this tournament to get down to him. So really, the 2 premier stars for this Dramingos squad were not the ones that got it done in the final game, and instead, like you said, just that committee effort. Fox ends with 3 points, 2-1. Trace McDonald with a goal and an assist. Cale Ryan with 2. Keelan Seneca with 2. Ryan Sanders with the 1. Also, major plays throughout this one, and this is an area that we can really look to find where, was it the defense or was it the goalie play? Only 2 caused turnovers in this game for the Dramingos, and over 50 saves from Nate Whittem. Total goalie game. And now we'll have the presentation of the trophy for the NCBS final. Bookended by games between the Dramingos and the Buffaloes. The Dramingos NCBS champions, as they get ready to receive their trophy, coming out to grab it is Anders Norman. Celebrations from the Dramingos as they come out with a dominant 5-goal win in this gold medal game, despite being beat by this Buffaloes team in week 1, as Nate Whittem hoists the trophy above his head. No doubt he was the one for it.
And Dramingos going to have some fun with their celebrations here on the floor. Chamberlain, this has been fun. Big thanks to Ripper Craig Rubczynski for inviting me out to work with you and Brendan over this tournament. You did, as I said, yeoman's work yesterday working solo, but you did, what, almost every game but one during this tournament, so great job by you, and it's been fun working with you these last couple days.
I appreciate it. It's been an absolute blast working with you and Brendan as well, and ultimately seeing some high performers from the upstate New York area across all of these teams really in the box lacrosse setting. Of course, Ryan Sanders, that premier righty for this Dramingos squad, just announced this week, as you said earlier, Dave, he will be transferring to RIT to become a Tiger. So getting used to this campus a little bit for this tournament here this week. But unfortunately for both upstate New York teams, the Buffaloes and the Hawkeyes, they're unable to come out with wins in the final day of this tournament. And the gold medal championship trophy goes to the Dramingos, the silver with the Buffaloes, and the bronze with the Kings out of Philadelphia. 3 big goalies backstopping all 3 of those squads that medal in this tournament. That's going to do it for us from this National Collegiate Box Series. Thanks to Dave Buchanan, I've been Chamberlain Bauder, and the final score of this one, Dramingos 10, Buffaloes 5. Have a good one.